Elviseni from GuitarGearGeek.com. This video is the second part of the Build Your Own Guitar Kit series. I am going to show you how to finish a guitar kit using a Nitrocellulose Lacquer spray can. This is how the guitar looks after 4 days of drying. After this video, I am going to install the custom electronic I am working on, and this is going to be truly original. Before spraying the lacquer, you must protect the fingerboard using masking tape, but the inlays shouldn't be protected. They have to be varnished to avoid the small gap between the varnished neck and the inlays. Before spraying the lacquer, you must sand the guitar lightly using a thin sandpaper. If you did the paint job right, you do not need to sand the guitar entirely, only the spots that are still abrasive. I used the 600 grit sandpaper and only sanded on few locations. I decided to apply an extra coat of varnish because the SG guitar has a set neck, painted the same color as the body. Nitrocellulose paint is perfectly fine for a body surface, but for the neck I wanted a smoother finish, like a pro guitar. I already painted another kit using a nitrocellulose paint and only added lacquer on the neck. You must also sand the guitar lightly using a thin sandpaper. If you did the paint job right, you do not need to sand the guitar entirely, only the spots that are still abrasive. I used a 600 grit sandpaper and only sanded on few locations. I have to warn you, this thing stinks terribly. Right after I sprayed, I was obliged to leave for a couple of hours because I couldn't breathe anymore and I had a terrible headache. I left the windows fully open despite the cold weather outside, and it was as bad as it was before I left. I coughed like a demon and my eyes were burning for days. That's why I waited so long to do the voiceover recording, because I couldn't stay in the house more than an hour straight. I spent 4 days ventilating my apartment until I was able to stay inside. It didn't occur when I used the spray paint or with the other kits I already assembled. It always smelled bad, but not as bad as this time. It is the last time I apply a lacquer finish inside my house for sure. This is how the guitar looks after the first coat. I decided to change location because the lighting was better than in the first place. As you see me doing, you must always be at 30 cm away from the guitar and start the spray before and stop it after the surface you are working on to avoid spots and leaking. On this kit, I didn't apply too many coats of finish because the nitrocellulose paint I applied before also included varnish. I only added a lacquer because it was a bit too rough for the neck in terms of filling. But if you only paint the body, there's no need to apply lacquer on top of this paint. Usually, this lacquer is used for necks if you want to have a natural satin wood neck. As I mentioned before, you must sand slightly the spots that are abrasive. Passing the palm of your hand on the guitar is the best technique to find them out. Just sand those spots as lightly as possible until the guitar feels even. It is crucial not to leave sanding marks on the guitar because they will stay. If you leave scratches, you'll have to sand harder and start all over again. You have to do that until the guitar surface feels smooth entirely. That was the last coat of varnish I had to apply. I didn't use the entire can, but I don't have enough left for another one. Now that the guitar is perfectly dry, I am going to assemble my custom electronic. I am going to make an advanced Jimmy Page wiring. That means that I am going to modify it to amend it even more. This is going to be the content of my next video. Thanks for watching.